You are listening to the Savage FINcast Retro, episode 28, Freak Force 15 and 16.
Chicago. The criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast Retro, the show that'll fuck your friend Val. My name's Raven Perez.
I'm Jim Purcell.
And I'm Craig Olson. No, Craig's not here. I am Mark Welser.
Special guest star, Mark Welser.
Right.
I think we might know you from such barn burner titles as Gods of Brutality, Backups, Savage Dragon, fill the number in post.
Yeah,
And
I don't remember which one. 208, I think.
I think you have an upcoming project, don't you?
Oh, you forgot the most important book.
Yes, Super Freaks.
Super Freaks. Raven.
Super Freaks, guys.
Did you not read Super Freaks, Raven?
I got a confession.
Yeah.
I'm kind of beefing with every single contributor to that, and so I was even myself. So I was trying to keep it on the down. I was trying to downplay its importance, but yeah, Super Freaks. So yeah, man, you're kind of like the big dick hot shit. I feel like you're blowing up left and right.
Superstar.
Yeah, you're blowing up like a Norfolk Southern chemical train. So
he can make those jokes, folks. It's where he lives.
Yeah,
I'm blowing up like a tire that's been punctured, and it's just slowly leaking air over several trips.
So would you say you're much like a gas bag?
Yeah, a bit of a gas bag.
that's okay. The Hindenburg was a gas bag too, and people still talk about that bad boy.
Yeah, they don't shut up about it.
Yeah.
Well, that went pretty well for them, right? The Hindenburg?
Yeah, man, raging success.
I don't remember exactly what happened to them, but I think it was probably a success.
They inspired that band Led Zeppelin.
Who?
The name? Yeah, you know. They're aren't
No, I
they
meant
like
the
a
Who?
They're a cover of the Who. They're a cover band for ZZ Top.
Oh.
But yeah, I think you have a title to promote coming up soon, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know when it'll be released or where it will be released, but Rich Woodall and I are working on a book called The Bloody Ring of Dracula.
Ooh.
About a Count Dracula as a luchador in Mexico.
Listen, I don't like to use hyperbole, but that might be the single greatest creation to ever face this planet, surpassing such all-time classics as electricity, fire, sliced bread, the Christ scam.
I must admit, those are some very good words to put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't read it yet, though, so it's we still have plenty of time to disappoint. Yeah, Rich is writing it and I'm drawing it. We're working on it right now. Don't know when or where it will be, but we're plugging away at it anyway. So if somebody decides they want to print it, we will be ready.
I gotta say, it's a really good time to be a wrestling comic fan. Everyone's got a wrestling comic in them right now.
Yeah,
I've got a
there
wrestling comic in me someday.
There weren't quite as many coming out when we first planned this, and it seems like we may have taken too much time getting it together, but hopefully there's still some interest in wrestling by the time it comes out.
Listen, there's no such thing as too many wrestling comics.
Or wrestling, anything. Wrestling's cool.
Yeah, wrestling fucking rules.
Fun fact, I didn't become a wrestling fan until I was 30.
What?
I thought wrestling was gross when I was a kid. I always turned that right at the height of the fucking Attitude Era. Whenever I would turn, or NWO era, I'd see it on TNT and I'd go, nope, change the channel. This isn't Babylon 5. No, thank you.
Babylon 5. Did you pick Babylon 5 on purpose?
I watched that on TNT.
Goddamn nerd.
It's probably when I started to get out of wrestling. I watched it a lot as a kid, and then ECW. I was real big into ECW in the 90s. And then, like, Attitude Era is kind of when I just gave up and started doing other stuff. But we used to do backyard wrestling in high school. And I still have a scar on my forehead from when I used a blade in some of our backyard wrestlings. And I had to get stitches. And that's a true story. And my parents were very, very pleased.
So wait a minute. On top of everything else, you're a comic artist who was also a backyard wrestler?
Who bled the hard way.
Failed backyard wrestler. I have not done it in very many. And also, I was not good at it.
I don't think you have to be good at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure backyard wrestling is mostly flailing around and hoping you don't break each other's necks.
That's pretty much it. Although one of our friends that we did it with, he went on to start a wrestling promotion in Poland.
Wow.
And he got like properly trained, and he had a ring and everything in his yard, and he lives in Poland now, and he doesn't do, I don't think he's doing any wrestling anymore, but he does like fight commentary and stuff, which is kind of adjacent.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I think there's probably never going to be a time to mention this on the FinCast other than right now. I went to high school with Jamie Noble.
All right, I know who that is, but please explain to Jim.
I know who Jamie Noble is.
All right, then explain to the listeners then, because we all know clearly who that. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Jamie. Oh, okay. Jamie Noble was a wrestler of small stature physically, but the man was a giant among the wrestling industry in terms of entertainment and innovation. And he was, I mean, he's been applauded by some of the harshest, like, you know, people like Jim Cornette, who like are kind of tough on everyone, you know, praise Jamie Noble. His career was cut short by an injury, but he was on MTV reality show. He was, you know, in the WWE. It's a rags to riches story. Like, we both came from nowhere. You know, he went on to actually become a wrestler in the WWE, had an action figure and everything.
Oh,
so
wow.
I primarily know him from his stint as the J&J security duo when that was a thing back in like the mid 2000s.
That must have been during the time when I just wasn't paying any attention to wrestling, and I'm sorry.
Are you paying attention to it now?
I come and I go. Like, I'll watch.
WrestleMania's coming up, so I'm paying attention again.
Oh,
yeah, we have Peacock. So I'll watch the pay-per-view. They're not pay-per-views anymore. What are they just?
They call them event specials. You're right. Yeah. They don't call them pay-per-views anymore. Right.
I watch the events, but I don't watch it like week to week. So every time these events come out, I'm like, well, who the hell's this guy? And who the hell's that guy? And who the hell is?
All you need to know is Rhea Ripley.
I like Rhea Ripley.
She's really cool.
That name does not sound familiar to me.
Although Rhea Ripley's in kind of a... Man, I could go on for hours, but it's probably not best for a podcast to explain Rhea Ripley's current storylines with Damien.
No.
What's his name? Mysterio. Yeah. Damien Mysterio.
The good news is, let's tie it back to Dracula. So basically, this is a Luchador Dracula comic. Yes. All I need to know is, does Dracula get to cut a promo?
Well, the story is set in the late 1800s, so there's not a lot going on as far as televised.
Does he
still play it up to the crowd?
Does he get to fight Abraham Lincoln?
I don't know.
Who was a wrestler, you know.
In Mexico.
Well, not in Mexico, but he definitely wrestled.
He was like a leg wrestler, right? Or an arm wrestler.
Something like that. Yeah, he was an athletic youth.
I think he's one of those gentleman wrestler types.
I think it may have been arm wrestling, or I don't know.
Listen, no one gives a fuck. All that's going to happen now is we're going to talk to you, Savage FINcast Retro listeners, about all things Eric Larson, but from the fucking past, baby. We're talking about the greats. We're talking about the classics. We're talking about Savage Dragon as a cop. Your balls hadn't dropped yet. Image didn't have shiny paper yet. Nobody knew what computer coloring was yet. The internet didn't exist.
What? I think you've gone too far back. I'm pretty sure everyone digitally colored at this point.
You're right.
My paper's pretty glossy.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, then we'll push it a little forward. Glossy paper existed. Right. People were on dial-up. Computer coloring was being figured out. There we go. Are we getting it?
Yes.
Yeah, Jamie Norton was just a hair's width away from making it big. Was that his name? I already forgot his name. Was it Jamie Norton?
Noble.
Oh, whoever.
Was Mark looking at his Norton antivirus as he told that joke? Jamie Norton?
I was close.
Or was it Jamie McAfee?
For a name that I just heard 3 minutes ago and we talked about a lot, I was pretty close.
So basically, yes, we have some incredible golden oldies for you Finheads who long for the time before the Malcolm era. Oh, take us back. Take us back. What are we listening? What are we talking about today, Jim?
We're going to talk about Freak Force.
Oh, baby.
Yes,
I gotta say, don't you feel like Freak Force in a lot of ways was superior to Savage Dragon?
Put me on the spot, but no.
I'm also a no on that.
I mean, it's
I'm
good,
a third
but
no.
It's not that good.
I'm just being a dickbag.
Yeah. I mean, for one issue, I would say, I really like the start of that Cosmic Cop story. That's like excellent. But as for the rest, serviceable.
I think there's some cool stuff in Freak Force, but just it's so gross to look at. I mean, Vic Bridges, I can't get into his art at all. Everyone's so stiff, and they wear such weird clothes, and
although,
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
This doctor we're about to meet.
Yeah,
right.
That doctor. I mean, what is going on with that guy? Well, I guess we should set it up, right, Jim? Right. So Freak Force issue 15. Here we are. The whole team has just been completely bludgeoned.
We got a really big close-up of Barbaric's face, which
this is the most generic cover.
Yeah.
Which I think this was used for Barbaric's Playmates figure for the mini comic that came with him. I think they used the same artwork for that.
Oh, good deep cut.
Yeah. Which was, they were all the same story, but they all just had different covers depending on which figure you got. This is drawn by John Cleary. I think layouts by Eric Larson.
Well, see,
you're talking about the mini comic, yeah. I've never looked at it.
Toys, yeah. You guys are going to talk about that on the show eventually, right?
Maybe, actually.
A whole episode.
Find out when it came out.
Well, it doesn't tie into continuity at all, so you can do it whenever. But we're at Freak Force 15, yeah. This is March of 1995.
I got to say, this doctor, you're talking about like this fucking doctor's clothes. It's just like, goddamn, what is going on? For one thing, the funny thing is that, like, there's moments of brilliance in poor Vic's like art, because like I really like this choice to like make Super Patriot's arms and stuff all covered in studs. I actually think it's kind of like, you know, cool. Like, it's better than what he was doing when the series started, right?
Right.
But then you get stuff like this doctor's like weird Doritos t-shirt.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this doctor, his design, because he looks like a slime ball, and he looks like he's a 90s guy.
But he shouldn't be. He's a doctor.
He looks like a talent.
I mean, doctors can be flamboyant. Haven't you ever seen like Doogie Howser or House?
It's possible that he's not even from the Chicago area, and he was on vacation, and they pulled him in because he's the only one that knows how to deal with super freaks. I'm trying.
Yeah, you're trying real hard.
Look. I don't know.
I really appreciate that because I like that backstory you've created from nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Can I also say Vic has continued his habit of incredibly busy, like just random pictures of flowers hanging up on the wall.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Also,
go ahead, Jim.
Continued front-facing shots of Hortus.
Yes.
His face, not the best look.
I got to give him credits for the balls to just have Hortus looking right into the camera. But I hate it.
It's horrifying.
It's not.
I don't know if it's definitely the lips don't help.
No, the lips are a huge hindrance.
He really emphasizes the lips. It's not ideal. I gotta say, I never knew this about Ricochet's blood. This
Me
is
either.
an interesting development.
This is really neat. I don't think it's ever been mentioned since.
Brought up again. Yeah, exactly.
But I do love the idea that, like, if you cut her blood out and just let it coagulate, it just becomes like a goddamn bouncy ball.
Yeah.
You like that? Coagulate?
Inject that into somebody else. See what happens.
I know, right? Jim hates the blood thing. But I gotta say now, I would love to see what happens if you, like, had her give a blood transfusion to, like, who would be the person who should never get bouncy powers?
Well, I would think Hortus, but she's gone.
Right. Well, that's a good one though. That would actually be an amazing combo.
Right.
Walden Wang. Just all of a sudden he's bouncy.
Yeah, I don't know. I completely forgot that she had rubber blood until I flipped through this today.
So that's a good, interesting point to ask. Have you read these before? Is this new to you? Yeah, have you read these previously?
I have read them. Yes, it's been a while since I've read Freak Force, but yeah, I had them all. I didn't get them when they came out. I got them later after the series had already ended. I picked them up as back issues, but yeah, I've read all this stuff before.
Yeah, this stuff's all new to Craig, to Raven and I.
Yeah, for me and Jim, this is totally new. And so, like, when I see the bouncy ball blood, I'm just like, oh, shit, that's actually pretty cool. I also noticed that there's an effort to, like, have Super Patriot doing a lot of things with his eyes, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I noticed that flipping through these too. He doesn't do that in the regular series, but this is, I think this, and then also in the next issue, he's got little telescopic eyes coming out.
Yeah, it's cool. I can appreciate it. Yeah, it's just that, like, good old Vic Bridges, just stiffness, like this barbaric leaning at the bedside and her in the bed, and, you know, just kind of weird. I don't think we've ever seen Ricochet with her, like, mask off in normal Savage Dragon, have we?
Well, at the wedding in 41 when they got married.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. But other than that, like, this is it, right?
Yeah. Vic has a tendency to draw them out of costume a lot.
Yeah, we were kind of like praising that about Freak Force, is that, like, you'll see, you know, fucking Dart in sweat clothes. You want to see?
It's neat, but the clothes are always so weird looking.
Yeah. It is crazy that he's probably the one guy who should have never put them in casual clothes.
Right. They all have those big Image sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Raven hated the Image sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I do not like those Image sweatshirts, dude.
We'll get you one, Raven, for your birthday.
No, God, no. What do you guys think of Crying Hortus?
You mean?
I mean, fucking
barbaric?
Yeah.
Well, look at his eyes at the bottom of the page, bottom middle.
The bottom middle, yeah, they're very close together.
You know, it's weird because Eric does these kind of like almost anime eye looking things, but when Vic tries to do it, they just look a little weird.
It's just that Vic ooginess overall. I feel so bad, like, just bagging on this poor guy. He got better.
Yeah, I feel bad too, but also he's not listening.
Fair enough.
He's moved on. He doesn't do comics anymore, I don't think.
I will say that like this picture of Barbaric like busting out, and by the way, the inks here by Chad Hunt help a lot. And like this picture of Barbaric busting out of the hospital, pretty badass. Like the buildings are generic as shit, but like Barbaric looks fantastic here.
And I wonder also how much of it, because I know Keith Giffen was he was drawing layouts.
That's the interesting question, because of the way Giffen does his writing it's through layouts. Yeah. So a lot of this must have been laid out by him. Mm-hmm. And you
can tell a lot of it too. Though that's like a classic Giffen layout, or at least panel configurations that he goes through a lot. But
yeah,
some of these poses, because I'm sure they were drawn super small, and maybe Vic just, when he blew them up, he just didn't really put much life into them. He just kept them as stiff as the thumbnails were. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of his stuff outside of Freak Force.
Okay, you literally answered the thing I was about to ask.
Okay.
Phase 1 phasers is how Eric got Vic came onto his thing. Mm-hmm. You're not familiar with like Phase 1 phasers, are you?
I have one issue of Phase 1 phasers because I think it has a story that Eric drew in it.
Oh, okay.
I have one issue, and I don't know if Vic drew it. Actually, I don't even know if it's an actual comic. It might actually just be a source book thing. I gotta find more issues of it.
A thing that kills me is like coloring mistakes. Freak Force has some big ones. Look at Barbaric's arm. Like it's fucking blonde by his left-hand thumb.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, that shit kills me, dude. I'm just like, no!
It was drawn too smooth, and so the colorist misunderstood.
Fix it in the omnibus. Fix it in the Ultimate Collection.
Man, I would love a Super Patriot Freak Force Deluxe Omnibus. That'd be so great.
I would love it to be recolored and redrawn.
Just completely redrawn.
Yep, and rewritten in places.
Yeah.
Remastered. Question. I'm not even joking. Would you guys be into like comic book remasters? Like, video games have remasters.
No, absolutely not. Have you not seen what they did to The Killing Joke?
No, bro, that's not a remaster. That's a fucking recolor. That they recolored it. They just use the same writing and the same art. I'm talking about remaster.
You mean literally remake it from the script?
You know how?
Isn't that what Liefeld just did with all his books?
He did.
So somebody out there did it.
Well, I think every page was a different artist, but yes, it was basically a recreation of the first issues with a variety of artists per page.
I haven't read them, but that's got to be jarring as hell.
Yeah, I don't like that idea. That execution is not good.
I haven't actually looked at those, but I am familiar with, there were 2 issues of Legion of Superheroes that came out 2 years ago, where every page was a different artist, and yes, it's very jarring.
I guess I'm saying is like, okay, it's a fantasy world, so money's no object, so I get Philip Tan to fucking redraw, not Philip Tan, who does fucking Travis Charest. He does Space Girl, right?
Space what?
Space Girl. I think it's Travis Charest, right? Or Charest. Am I fucking up the pronunciation? Whatever.
I've heard his name pronounced so many different ways that I'm not even going to attempt.
You know what? Frank Quietly. All right, so I get Frank Quietly. Yeah, I get Frank Quietly to redraw Freak Force, and I get Kirkman to configure the dialogue.
Just rescript it.
Yeah, and Nikos can color it because goddamn Nikos rules. And so it's just like, hey boys, you gonna buy that? That's all I'm saying.
I'll buy it.
I mean, if Eric's name's on it, I'm gonna buy it anyway. I'd rather have new Freak Force.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm just saying. It's funny how it works in video games and it doesn't work here.
Well,
what
I'm doing is I'm getting, if money's no object, I'm spending that money on a time machine. And I'm going to go back and I don't know what I would do.
You were about to say attack Vic, weren't you? You were going to break Vic's hands. I knew it. You monster. Although I think we would all do the same thing with a time machine. But
if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and rescue all the lost Doctor Who episodes.
Oh.
No wonder you quit on the Attitude Era.
Indeed.
It rolled. Hortus gets so fucking mad. Hortus, goddamn it. Fucking Barbaric gets so mad that he fucking takes off to take out Bludgeon, which is just fucking...
Yeah, right through the wall there. That's rude.
Man,
I mean,
I love Super Patriot mugging to the camera.
Do you? I hated it.
I love it.
I hated it. That never happens. Why did that happen?
You don't mug to the camera?
Why does fourth wall breaking happen in this? I don't like it.
I mug to the camera.
Do you really?
Yeah, I just pick where the camera is and I look at it and I make a face and I look back and I go back to whatever I'm doing.
See, I never read that as a camera mug, but now that's all I see. I just thought it was just him just looking off.
He's definitely looking at us.
You never see Super Patriot being funny, and he's being funny here, and I like funny Super Patriot.
Oh, wait a minute. He's not looking at the camera, dude. He's looking at God.
There it is. It even the dialogue gives it away.
Well, that's true. He does say thank you, God.
Thank you so much.
Are we God?
It's Eric's God.
There you go.
No, he's looking behind the reader where God is watching.
Right. It's like those pictures where Jesus is behind the president. Is that what it is?
He's got his hand on my shoulder and he's reading Freak Force.
Right. Jesus is like, goddamn, Vic Bridges, what's going on?
I got to compliment Vic for the Super Patriot face because you can tell he's smiling even though he's got a covered face and goggles. You can tell he's like squinting and smiling.
I don't think he's smiling. I mean, I think he's pretty pissed.
He just seems so just frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he looks happy.
I don't see it.
Like Barbaric.
I mean, look at what he's saying. He's saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you so much." Because Barbaric's going off to commit suicide, and then he sarcastically responds to Rapture saying, "No, really."
I think he's just getting pissed off at all this Freak Force stuff, and he's just losing his mind and is losing his patience with everybody.
Yeah, I think he's just like cool.
But it is, yeah. No, he's definitely not out of character, but he's usually more collected at this. But he's gone on rants before, so he's got a bad temper.
He does.
Hey, Mark, how do you feel about this? Awesome shot right up Mighty Man's nostrils. In the I Got a Broken Leg panel.
I don't. That's a hard shot to pull off, though.
Yeah.
That's a weird angle to draw.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've seen you say you hate it before, so I was just giving you the bait.
Yeah. It never looks. If it doesn't look right, it looks way wrong. Is the problem.
Plus, talk about coloring mistakes. In one fucking panel, like Rapture's holding the blood ball, but in the next panel, it's an egg.
It's an egg.
It just bugs me. I just need a remaster, bros. I need a remaster.
Hey, surprise Max crossover. What the fuck? Why wasn't this advertised on the cover?
Yeah, like. If you've got the Max in your book, advertise that, right?
Like this is before Max shows up in Savage Dragon too.
Yeah, this is. I think so. When they meet in 28, they kind of know each other a little bit.
That's right. He does know who Sarah is. That explains it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why am I only finding out about this now? Because it's not on the cover.
We've never read these. We never read these, dude.
You've never read these, so you've never seen the graffiti on the wall that just says "Cheese Whiz."
My favorite is Amy Mann. This is more Amy Mann representation.
Chad and Lynn, whoever they are.
You know what's interesting? Breeders. Because that's slang that'll get used later for people who want to have kids.
I'm sure that's the band, the Breeders.
Are you sure?
Maybe. I mean, you got Amy Mann, you got Kiss.
Yeah, you're probably right. 9 Inch Nails.
Voices Carry. That's a Amy Mann song.
So, big Amy Mann fan. I'm a fan of Vandalism and Amy Mann.
Right.
Pumpkinhead? Like the movie horror
Pumpkin,
villain?
But it's Pumpkinhead, though, so it's not even spelled right, so I don't know what that is.
Oh, what's a wood god? I think that's a Marvel reference. I think Wood God's a Marvel character.
You can see in the trash that Max is digging through, there's a book that says IHOC. That's the International House of Color.
Wow. Very self-depreciating. Since that's all color, they would have put that there.
Right? Yeah, no, they did the separations on this one.
Yeah. That's funny. Now, are these cops or guys on stilts? What that Bludgeon is fighting?
They're armored security cops.
They don't seem to be holding guns. They have like cannon arms.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what. Here's the thing. Okay, this is the first time I've ever read this. When I very first see it, my mind does not read police or law enforcement.
Right.
They look like stilt men with gun arms. And then I only realized by the fact that they're like, "Where the hell is Dragon?" And they're shooting Bludgeon. I'm like, "Oh fuck, those are the cops."
I mean, the whole idea of Chicago is that the police are outmatched, so maybe this is just their SWAT gear when the super freaks show up. But
stilt team.
For the love of God, man, put your stilts on.
The special team of individual legs too long.
That. Yeah, I mean, you went for it.
I mean, it has to be an acronym for something.
Right.
But yeah, you can see on the next page, they don't really look like cops. They look like G.I. Joe guys or something. It's like Cobra Commander is impaled.
Cobra Commander dead. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, who's Bludgeon beating up? Like, who are these guys? Yeah. So, gotta say, I don't think that Barbaric really could bring it like this. And to be fair, he gets his ass kicked. But, like, it's kind of funny that he's like, oh, and he's getting some good licks in at all, you know?
He's so pissed off that he broke his costume.
I'm saying, considering that, like, fucking Bludgeon bitch slapped Mighty Man and put him in a coma.
Yeah. I mean, Barbaric has the element of surprise, and that's about all he's got.
He just knocked him off balance, man.
Yeah.
This
so
Max...
is this the crying Horridus you were talking about, or thought you were talking about?
No. But I hate this Horridus. This is one of the most cursed Horriduses ever. It's fucking round. No horns at all.
I don't know. I don't want to just spend the whole time bashing Vic's art, but it's giving me a lot to do here. That same page there with Max in the corner, like, Bludgeon, I guess, is on the ground, shoving Barbaric's head through the ground also.
Yeah.
It just looks so weird. Like he's on his belly.
Yeah, that's it. You know, here's the thing: is like, so follow the action. So Barbaric's tackling him to the ground. One can assume they're both on the ground.
He's already on the ground at the top of the page.
Yeah, he's already okay. Yeah,
and then he tackles him,
and then he just on his belly. I mean, just how bad are you getting beat that a guy that's on his belly can just slam your head into the pavement?
That's why Bludgeon's so tough. He doesn't even have to get up on his feet.
Now listen, though, I will give Vic his due. I love, as much as I hate that Horridus in the foreground, I love that Max.
Max is pretty goofy.
Yeah, but I love it. Like the one right behind her. It's just so weird. His take on the Max is so weird. I love it.
Perspective is weird as hell, too.
Yeah. Yes,
on
dude.
those buildings.
It is kind of fun to start getting all these other heroes in. Max, Deadly Duo, Vanguard.
Yeah, I will say what I do like that Vic does is when he does kill Cat, he's always in like these kind of cat positions.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always slinking around.
Hey, question. Craig didn't know what it was last time. None of us knew, but do you know why Vanguard was in such weird attire in some of the previous issues?
I don't remember why that would have... I don't know if maybe they were just trying to give him a new look.
Like
I don't know.
We couldn't connect it to anything. Like, we couldn't connect it to an ongoing book. We couldn't connect it to, like, a story or a reason.
Well, I know he shows up in Brigade.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a team on Brigade with some of the other Image guys. But I think he wears his normal costume in that.
Mm.
So I don't think it was from that. But it does look like he has the same emblem on the bottom of his shoe.
Right, yeah. It's a nice little touch.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I don't remember if it was ever explained why he looked like that. Sorry.
No, it's good.
No.
I appreciate Killcat, being in a somewhat like Batman-esque pose. And Jim, I agree. It was a great call, both from Super Patriot and just to make this story more exciting, just to rope in all these guest characters. Yeah, it instantly made this issue better. You've just got this unstoppable force, and fucking. Although it is hilarious to think that Super Patriot was so desperate that he got goddamn Killcat.
Killcat.
Kid Avenger.
Brute Force is out there somewhere. Get them.
How about this poster?
I ripped mine out. I don't have it. Which one is it?
It's Wildstar versus Ricochet, Barbaric, and Rapture, and it's drawn by Chris Marinan and Al Gordon.
Oh, he's the guy that did the Destroyer Duck crossover.
Oh.
Dude, it's pretty great. I really like this poster. It looks really fucking good. I think the poses are great. The compositions are great. It's just bathing in silhouettes and shadows. I think it's just fucking fantastic. This is a excellent fucking poster.
Let's see if I can find it online.
Yeah.
So, this fight goes on, and it goes the way you expect because Blizzard is really, really strong, guys. Yeah. He's really strong. Look how strong this guy is. Yeah. Apparently, he just flexes and everyone gets knocked out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's about. I will say this. It ends the only way it can.
Yep.
Because who's could possibly be stronger than this?
Our man.
The boy himself, Joey Finkelberry, doing what he does best.
I gotta say, I do not like the finger flick decapitating him. I know what they're going for, but it's so fucking dumb.
It's the original One Punch Man.
I throw a punch then. You know what I mean?
I kind of love it.
They did the same thing in, I think it was Dragon Blood and Guts, where Dragon, I think, flicked somebody. Or maybe it was in Red Horizon and sent some guy flying across the room. It's he's strong, but he's not that strong. And I know Joey is super overpowered. But I don't know.
It's just, okay, so based on the Joey I know from the Savage world, this makes sense. But this Joey had some remorse at the end of his last story. So you'd think decapitating a guy, even by accident, would fuck him up. But he seems pretty cool with it.
Oh, it's no accident. When someone leans in and you go to flick them with your superpowers, you mean what you do.
You got to be really confident if you're going to give someone a flick.
It's what's funny is that, so I remember our criticism of the last episode. We said, how is it that they decided to follow Joey Finkelberry up with yet another just unbeatable guy?
Yeah.
And then for Joey to be the resolution to that problem.
Right.
Just introduced, and
it's fucking wild. It's wild to me that was the choice that they made, where it was just hey, we had a cool story where a guy, a kid, was just fucking unbeatable. Let's do a story where another guy's just unfucking beatable. Well, who can beat him? How about that kid? That was unbeatable.
Well, do you think maybe they worked in reverse? Or who's going to stop this guy? We'll introduce someone a couple issues ahead of time to be super powerful.
Maybe. I think...
I don't know how much they were planning ahead when they were writing this, to be honest. I don't.
Well, here's what's so sad. So, again, this is how we do it on these retros. We jump all the fucking way over. Eric announces that this book is ending in the beginning of the letters column. So, as of the publishing of this, he knew that this was dying a sales death.
Right.
So, it's just kind of crazy Because to me, like, here's the thing: is what I guess I'm driving at is it's like, okay, if you want to eventually build towards Joey, I don't know, something crazy like he joins Freak Force, and then they've got a heavy hitter like from hell, like a god tier heavy hitter. Then you can really throw Freak Force into some crazy fucking scenarios because they've got like a fucking One Punch Man on their fucking team. But like, instead, this series is dying. So it's kind of like, I'm just really curious.
How do we wrap this up quickly?
Yeah, we
could bring in Joey. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely got some plot threads getting wrapped up in these 2 issues.
Fast as a motherfucker, right? So
should...
you guys, just quick question: were you satisfied by that? Like, Jim is a first time reader, and if you can remember, Mark, how you felt about it.
I have no memory of how I originally thought when I read this. So I'd like to hear your first impressions there, Jim.
I thought it was a decent resolution, since they set up this guy to be so strong. It's literally the only other character that could do this. Unless you, like... Of course, Zeke hasn't even been introduced yet. Right. Yeah. I mean, usually with an unbeatable guy like this, you come up with some, like, elaborate scheme to, like, trick him into, like, saying his name backwards or something.
Right.
But in this case, I mean, there isn't really a lot of options other than to just find somebody stronger. And to be fair, we were introduced to somebody stronger, so it's not like he's a Deus Ex Machina. Well,
it's also nice, too,
is.
Because you introduced the Joey Finkelberry, and then instead of it just being a one and done, they brought him back to do something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually do like that Joey gets used.
Yeah.
I just do kind of hate that Joey got used against another unbeatable guy.
But it's also like when you got Joey Finkelberry, who is fine with helping out once in a while. It's like, why don't they just use him all the fucking time?
Right. Well, he's in jail, but yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I
but
guess
they could get him out of jail.
I guess that's why you only got 2 issues to go. Right. It's just like, fuck it. So, follow-up question. What do you guys think the Max is going to do with Bludgeon's head?
He's going to fuck it.
I mean, right.
To be honest,
are you kidding me? He's going to fuck that head.
Of course.
He's taking it back in the shadows where no one can see.
I'm going to take you to the Outback.
He's going to imagine Rapture in her grandma dress.
Oh, Lord. Hey, listen, you break your leg, you take off the swimsuit. That's how it works. She's not a working girl with a broke leg. And then we get to Chelsea and fucking Jack Death here. And I got to say...
Jerry the Inhabitor.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw Trancer. Movie good.
You liked it, right?
Oh, Trancer is a really good movie. Fucking hell.
I told you, right?
8 more to watch now.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good on that score.
But the thing is that, like, so is that not the best Chelsea Nirvana drawing of all time?
The best as in
the last one?
The best so far? Yes.
The one where it's like it's about time, like that one.
Her hair bun is just too tight.
Yes, dude.
And her double S split curl is a choice.
I think it makes her look recognizable. The S curl, the double S curl. I guess it's a singular S curl, but
if you can look bald at certain angles, your hair is
she's about
too
to get
tight.
balder too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So shout out.
What about all these pictures on her wall just of Freak Force?
I think those are. Oh, are they pictures? Oh, they are pictures. Wow, she's creepy.
Yeah, they're framed.
They are framed photos. They're not a television screen like I initially thought.
Because you can see the TV that she turns off. That's what TVs looked like.
They don't own HD TVs in 1994.
Oh, those are framed pictures.
Oh, goddamn, that's weird.
Well, she's a weirdo.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with it in the she's a weirdo thing, but I will say that I did think that they were TV screens just in black and white.
Yeah.
Until you say, look at the panel where she's clicking the TV off, and that's clearly a frame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Yes, that's a weird choice.
Because the camera's moving around the room, so that's one is beside the couch, the other one's behind it.
Wow.
But I could see where that would look like just a monitor or something, but those are picture frames.
I've decided that those are not bedroom eyes. Those are grave eyes. Like, come, I want you to come and get in your grave, Freak Force. Come hither.
Really quick on the ads front while we wrap this up. The Star ad using the Wild Star logo, and then having the post-it note saying to get his own. Pretty funny.
Is that on the pinup?
It's on the pinup, right? You wouldn't be able to see that one, yeah. So yeah, it's.
I took all my pinups out. There was something in the letters column in this one where Eric mentions that another publisher made it hard for him to trademark the name Freak Force.
Yeah, I didn't understand what that was meaning. Do you know?
No, I don't, but it's weird. He says they might come back under a different name, but then they came back as Freak Force. So I don't know what other publisher had a Freak Force, or if that just didn't go anywhere and then he did end up trademarking, or if he just put it out without. I don't know.
Trying to think who would have had something similar at the time. I know Fantastic Force probably happened around now.
Wouldn't have been like ForceWorks, would it?
ForceWorks.
There's so many forces.
There's so many forces is the thing. It's
I
like
think somebody just did a podcast about that, didn't they?
I did.
Yeah. And they also mentioned in the letters that Freak Force might come back with new members, and
It does.
yeah,
I know Star's on that cover. Oh, look,
maybe
guys!
that's what. Yeah,
Spawn Blood Feud by Alan Moore.
I mean, you know, Todd paid the price dearly for his desperation to work with guys that would give him clout.
Why? What did he lose in this deal?
I don't know, but I'm just saying I was walking the shop and looked on the wall, and there was Angela on a Marvel book, and I was just like, oh, Todd.
Yeah, she's. I think she's Thor's brother.
she's a Marvel character now.
She is. Neil,
Yeah,
I think Neil Gaiman sold it to him.
Is this recently?
10 years now. She was showing
read
up
Marvel
when
comics.
Brian Michael Bendis was doing Guardians of the Galaxy 10 years ago, if not longer now.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's all wrapped up in that whole Miracle Man deal.
Okay, so I knew Miracle Man was over at Marvel. I didn't know Angela went with her.
Yeah, because Gaiman got the rights back, and he didn't care about her, and just sold her to Marvel to stick it to Todd.
Sell her back to Todd for twice the price, I guess.
I will say that I do like the letter column art. I think it's fantastic. You don't see a lot of this these days, where like the character is like trimmed out and the words come around them. I think that's cool.
Yeah, there's a couple of those in here, isn't there? Or is it? Yeah, Mighty Man
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, Mighty Man, and then the initial one of Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool, man. It's a thing I know, they're trying to like heap more work on Eric, but it's like, yeah, I like it. I just like the way it looks. So
Cool.
we keep these shows tight and tidy. We're gonna just keep on rolling right into the next issue, Freak Force 16, baby. And this cover,
All right.
it's a callback, but I gotta laugh because it's not like this issue would have happened so long ago, right? Where Dragon's like the silhouette where Rapture is, and Freak Force is quitting the Force.
Well, that would have been number 6.
Yeah.
Dragon 6, yep.
So like nostalgia, but to something that only happened 2 years ago.
Yeah. I gotta say, I do like it, and there aren't any like. Remember when we saw that cover and we kept finding all the goofy shit going on it,
Yeah,
like Mighty Man's head being hidden and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a silhouette. Was Super Patriot even on there? Because I don't think he was on.
No, he wasn't.
'Cause it was them leaving the police force, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. The only difference here is Rapture's where Dragon was, and Super Patriot is where Rapture was.
Okay, yeah.
Look at how goddamn hateful Hortus is. It's what a fucking sour. What a sour Hortus.
I've never seen her more pissed off.
She looks like somebody asked her to take the vaccine. Get it out of here. I don't want the clot shot. Ugh.
Are we allowed to talk about the plandemic on this podcast and how it was all a trap from...
Well, it is pertinent to Horridus's death. So.
That's what happens when you watch too much television.
You know, second hardest person who's taken it second hardest, Rapture. I mean, not Rapture, Ricochet. I do like those shoulder things, like those little shoulder fins that Vic gave him. I don't think that's part of her normal costume, but it looks pretty cool, actually.
No, she's usually got the big shoulder pads, but not like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's
I'll take that over front-facing Horridus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He can't. You know what? He can't stay away from that front-facing Horridus. Loves it. So, if you're a Trancers fan, and if you're listening to the Savage FINcast Retro, I have to assume you are. You just get to see what is his name? The Inhabitor, Jerry the Inhabitor. But like, it's Elliot. I mean, Jim. Now that you've seen Trancers, I mean, he's Jack Death, right?
I mean, he's got the same jacket.
It's got the same
not
fucking
as haggard.
head. His head looks the same.
It's a bit to it, yeah.
What do you think of Johnny Redbeard here?
It's interesting to see Johnny here. I don't know if we've seen him yet in Savage Dragon.
In such a short robe, too.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't shown up in Dragon yet. I think his first appearance in Dragon was 24?
Yeah, we're not there yet. So this would be...
Stuff.
Yeah, this would be his first.
And by then it was... I think Chelsea was Redbeard, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So the original one, I don't think has ever been in, except for flashbacks.
Yeah, but I gotta say, very weird design. Like, you know, with the like the robe, the suave robe over his superpower,
Over
his
his
super
suit.
costume.
Yeah. This whole sequence is a little odd. I didn't realize that Johnny didn't have like control of his powers. Because like the Inhabitor there forces him to transfer his abilities to Chelsea,
That's
but like I
weird.
guess he like doesn't have control of it.
Well, the Inhabitor gets the ability you learn later in this issue to control even living matter.
Okay, yeah,
And so,
all right.
because initially he could only control inanimate objects, but the big revelation is that he has gained the ability to control living matter. He uses it to heal Ricochet later.
Heals Ricochet. I assumed that he was just making his shirt move.
Yeah.
Because on the next page he crushes him to death with his own clothes. But,
Yeah.
But I'm more curious about how... Because, yeah, Redbeard can't control what powers he gives people. But somehow they tell him to give Chelsea Redbeard's powers, and then he does somehow.
It is odd
I don't understand how the power of persuasion, I guess, right?
because it does. You know, she gets a completely new look, which tracks with what Redbeard does because you always get a new look on top of everything else.
Right.
But you're right. He usually doesn't have the ability to control like what powers you get. So it is odd.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to tell a power-giving guy, hey, guess what? You're going to give your power-giving power to someone.
Or do you think it's like when he's touching people, it's the first thing that he thinks about?
It's
So
just
they're
not
like,
explained.
don't think about an elephant. It's like, well, now I'm thinking about an elephant. Oh, this guy's got elephant powers.
Right.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, Johnny is apparently obsessed with pictures of angels, too. A lot of angels hanging on the walls there. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Is Chelsea better off or worse off for her transformation?
Her tits are bigger.
I mean, that's a win, but at what cost?
Her
That widow's
outfits-
peak. Go ahead.
I was going to say that outfit's pretty wild with the straps.
Straps instead of a t-shirt.
But she clearly got Johnny Redbeard's receding hairline as well.
Yeah. What a bit of a trade-off there.
But look at this page where she becomes... she's got the powers. That far left bottom panel there of her face close-up, that doesn't look like anything I've seen Vic draw before.
Are you talking to the panel Wonderful?
Yeah, right underneath that, yeah. Where it's got all the sound effects and she's like turning away horrified.
Right.
Yeah, I got to say the inker is probably doing the heavy lifting there.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's a good-looking panel.
Yeah, it is actually, with the shadow covering the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to do the censorship choice of making Johnny's mangled body be a silhouette,
Right.
but then showing all the blood.
Right.
I love it. I mean, I sound like I'm being like mocking, but like I fucking love it. I love that weird choice.
It might have just been easier to draw. Because there's a lot of silhouettes on this page. Maybe he was on a crunch.
Yeah. Well, when in doubt, black it out.
See one of those weird coloring overlay errors on the silhouetted corpse too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by his face, where his face would be.
Yeah.
Still figuring that one out. Yeah, what do you guys think about Mighty Man's bed sheet? Oh, goddamn, there's the doctor again.
There he is.
Sorry, I didn't have time to change clothes. Anyway.
Yeah, it's weird seeing Mighty Man without a shirt.
I know. And the sheet is down to his, like, navel.
It's tight, too.
He's in a hospital bed, but let's not cover up his chest. Just fucking...
Mighty Man loses his shirt a lot in this series, far more than he ever did in Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever lost it in Dragon. Nothing comes to mind in it, but...
Yeah, the only times he ever lost his shirt in Dragon is that one time, like, when Dragon goes to the wrong universe and he blows up and becomes a burning, smoldering corpse.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess he wasn't wearing a shirt then.
I guess the shirt kind of went with it, huh? Looks like he lost his mullet, too.
Yeah. It withered away.
No, Bludgeon punched off his mullet.
No, if you look...
right out the back of his neck.
If you look, guys, the mullet's in the top panel. Very small, though.
It's shrinking.
Mid-page.
It's part of his healing process.
Now, how do you guys understand the concept of his powers working against him?
Who?
I don't like Super Patriot.
It's because he's got internal damage and he's invulnerable.
Oh,
so
got it.
doctors can't cut him open with tools to fix him.
Got it.
So it's working against him in that sense.
Okay,
He could be internally bleeding and they couldn't do anything about it.
Got it. Okay, took me a minute.
Now I gotta wonder though if he turned back into Aunt Stevens and then turned back if he'd be fixed instantly. I'm not sure if that's how that works.
You think that it just resets the Mighty Man body?
Maybe. Probably not, because as I recall, sometimes Mighty Man can be killed.
A good-looking panel talking about things that don't look like Vic drew them is that panel where Super Patriot's face is covered in like silhouette.
Yeah.
Shadow, and he's like, "Don't start. We're not doing any good here. Just getting in the way." It's a good-looking panel, very un-Vic-like.
The barbaric one right next to it, also somewhat. But again, it's because of all these deep shadows, I would say. Because usually everything's kind of evenly colored, and so it gives everything kind of a samey look. There seems to be more stuff going on with shadows with this anchor, in general.
Yeah. Sure.
Maybe it's just to make him look more sad.
Yeah.
Put everything in shadow. But I wanted to point out, I forgot, on the previous page, when Jerry says, or when Chelsea's like, "If you keep this up, I just might fall for you in a big way." And he says, "Yeah, tell me more." And then the next page, the doctor says, "Nothing more to tell."
Yeah, I don't like it.
I like that transition. I thought it was cute.
Skip ahead. Where we at?
Yeah, they're hacking Redbeard's computers, and then we get a little merry marching Marvel Society joke.
Yeah, I thought that's what that was.
Yep.
Which it's because Johnny Redbeard's a big John Byrne joke, right?
I suppose so. I feel like it could have been cute without Jerry following it up with, "Yeah, home sweet home. Enough said, true believer." It's like, oh, we got it. We got it, Jerry.
You have a different version. Mine says, "This is a direct reference to Marvel Comics."
Are you joking?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How do you like this computer they're on? It's all green, except for the red arrow.
Well, that is definitely what computers looked like circa 19 whatever.
The folder that says file access.
Yep. Oh, Lord.
Look, Windows 3.1 was rough. Hey, remember Freak Factor?
Yeah, I forgot about Freak Factor. But
I think the writers might have as well. I think we're getting a rather quick resolution to the Freak Factor mystery.
Hold on, dude. I'm just not going to let you breeze past the Chelsea Nirvana face where she's like, it's a long ride back to the house.
That's a face. I agree.
That is an award-winning face.
I think it looks great.
Do you?
Yeah.
If her hairline wasn't so high, it would actually be a really good face.
I do think that is foreshadowing for her becoming Johnny Redbeard, though.
Yeah, I think it's just getting... Because she's got that widow's peak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do say I kind of like her, like, you don't really get a clear look at like her overall design here, except for in the panel to the left of the close-up face. You get the wide shot there.
Right.
It's not a bad outfit.
Do you... So question, do you guys think this Freak Factor subplot is like a reference to the other title that was keeping him from like a little meta humor?
Wait a minute. Maybe. Could be. Maybe.
But I don't...
We'd have to actually ask somebody.
I don't know what the other title was, so...
Yeah, it probably wasn't like... It wasn't like X Factor or something along those lines.
I think it's just as like a generic X-Men, X Factor, X Force. It's probably just a gag on that. But I like their logo.
I like their logo. I cannot stand that the fully spelled out thing has lowercase letters in it.
Oh yeah, that's just bad typeface.
It makes me furious. Speaking about typeface, I like that barbaric expression. You! Oh my god, you! It's good.
I gotta ask a question though. If he's facing the door and gets ganked, why is his feet facing up when he gets pulled through the door?
That's bad sequential art.
I guess he tried to turn around and run away.
Tried to run away, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, just bad sequential art, I think. Although that is the worst Hortus face yet. Beneath the one that just looks
her
like... Her
eyes will escape her head one of these days.
Listen, okay, this is a deep cut, but I mean, not really a deep cut. It's very popular. But I'm just saying a lot of Savage Dragon fans might not necessarily get this. But if you fucking, like, know the manga Berserk...
Yeah.
Like, her fucking head looks like that, like, Stone of Agony or whatever.
Oh, God, you're right. Just got to move one of the eyes to her forehead and you're there.
Right, it's the same fucking thing, dude. It's just so funny. Oh, Vic, the horrible things you did to Horridus.
I'm flipping back and I'm noticing Johnny Redbeard, when we see him, he's in his robe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then after he dies, he seems to be wearing like his shirt again when he's on the floor as a corpse in the background. He's got his gloves on and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird, right? Because his clothes strangled him, but also too, I don't know. It's a strange choice.
It's so weird. So who's he got? He's got Dart and
Phyllis.
Phyllis Dieter.
Yep. In her kinky sex dungeon.
Yeah.
I guess it's the Inhabitor sexy kink dungeon.
If you're fighting the Inhabitor, the floor is literally made of lava.
This outfit. Okay, so here's something I didn't figure out until literally just now.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this outfit on Chelsea before in a backup a while back, a long time back actually. And at the time, I thought the outfit was kind of strange, like it was a weird choice. I mean, what's up with this outfit? Only now do I realize it's literally the same outfit Johnny Redbeard wears.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't really realize if this was the first appearance of Johnny Redbeard, because we wouldn't see him in that outfit in Savage Dragon for like 10 more issues or more.
Was this the first time he showed up in Freak Force?
I think so. Fully appearance.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought for sure he showed up before this.
He was in issue 11. You're right. I don't know if it was a full appearance though, but it's been a bit since we looked at it. Yeah, his first appearance was in Free Force 11.
Is that when he gave Bludgeon his powers, right?
Let me look that up.
Real-time fact check.
I don't remember.
So while you're fact-checking that, I have to ask Mark, what do you think of Dr. Nirvana's big book of secret phone numbers?
I think it's great that Doubleheader uses a P.O. box.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Listen, unironically fun. Unironically just a fun thing to think of, just these fucking assholes just having, like, mailing addresses. Oh, Hot Shot, yeah. I gotta call Hot Shot.
Redbeard was in 11, but he wasn't given Bludgeon his powers. He was given somebody powers, and they just turned to molten goo.
You're right, and he is fully revealed in his standard costume in this page. Yeah. So we have seen this costume before.
Okay.
With its scoop
I'm
neck
thinking
V.
Of when Chelsea made the second Bludgeon. It's my mistake. I'm sorry, guys.
Do you like just the random fruit on the counter?
Everyone just needs random fruit.
There's, what is that, an orange, some bananas, some grapes.
Yeah.
Not even like on a plate or in a bowl.
Just loose. Just fucking loose on the counter. Like a madman.
Hellspawn, he was the guy from Wildcats, right? Wasn't he the bad guy in Wildcats?
He was, yes.
Johnny Redbeard's got his phone number.
Well, that's Dr. Nirvana.
Or that's what I meant, yeah. Nirvana's got this phone number.
It's hard to imagine. For those who don't remember, Hellspawn kind of had like a skull with Wolverine wings and it was on fire.
Yeah, imagine him answering a phone.
Right, exactly. Hello, this is Hellspawn. Dr. Nirvana? God damn it, I told you never to call me here.
Keep getting all these phone calls from someone named Hellspawn.
I belong to DC now. Please, quit calling me.
Yeah, like Ricochet waking up and she's super excited to see Jerry.
This is good for me as someone who never quite fully got the Savage World scene where they're breaking out of Australia.
Yeah, that probably made no sense to you guys.
It made no fucking sense to me, right? And then this helps me understand that guy from that big jail scene where they break out of the fucking arena, Brainy Apes Arena in Australia.
Right.
Was this fucking guy.
He was just a big dirt mound in that, though, right?
Yeah, he was never a dude. He certainly wasn't Jack Death in a trench coat. But, like, fucking... Yeah, dude, this actually blew my mind because I was like, oh, shit. This was the missing link to make that make more sense. What about you, Jim? Are you connecting these dots finally?
I'll be honest, it's been a while since I read those Australia-based issues, so I've actually completely forgotten about the Inhabitors' appearances there.
It's just a big dirt man.
He's just a big dirt...
That's the one issue.
Weird. But yeah, so I guess here he was partners with Ricochet and Barbaric briefly, and then he got hurt and left behind, and he wants revenge, but she's just glad to see he's alive.
Well, it was the same. The funny thing is it's the same thing in the Savage World, is that he felt betrayed by Barbaric and Ricochet.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys fucking betrayed me. It's the exact same thing. It's just funny. So, it's funny that, like, he could have been cool with them. Like, clearly she, like, there was no ill will, right?
Right.
Like, he could have just been a cool guy and been like, hey, Barbaric's dead. You want to hook up? Oh, man. I'm so sorry.
Raven, does your copy have a poster?
I don't have my physical copy right now.
Okay.
And so I don't have a poster.
I don't have a poster either.
Yeah, we're fine.
We know Mark doesn't, so.
I ripped mine all out.
Hey, look, guys.
When I was younger, I ripped all my posters out because I was like, these are slowing me down when I want to do rereads. So I just took them all out. There's a pile of dragon pinups in my basement just in a box. I never hung them up.
Check it out, guys. It's Ant.
Yeah, kinda.
Can't believe Ant's here.
Yeah.
He does. It's basically the same costume.
I hate most of these guys. except
They
for
all suck.
the
Think
one who
you're
feels
supposed to.
ridiculous. The one who feels ridiculous is kind of awesome.
Flaptrap?
Is that his name?
Yeah. Well, that's Bug is the one that's upside down, which is he's different from Bugman
Or
and
insect.
Bug Eye and Bug Guy and Glow Bug and Lightning Bug and Bug. There's Bagman. He's just a bag.
Did somebody turn into a burning pile of shit?
Yep.
That's Quill. He's got porcupine quills.
No, I mean on the floor by Chelsea's feet.
Yeah. Sometimes
Oh.
the power transfer doesn't work. It go bad.
Yeah, that's Lloyd. He says it's a shame about Lloyd. I guess that's Lloyd on the ground. Didn't work for him. These are the henchmen.
Okay. Oh, so duh. No shit. She called the henchmen and gave them powers. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's Tech, looking very comfortable with his legs crossed.
Yeah. He's
I'm assuming
relaxed.
that's a dude. Huh?
I feel ridiculous. I mean, I gotta say, it's Mushmouth from Fat Albert, right?
But it's such a weird design, considering like all the other things that we've seen Vic design in this book.
Right.
Unless that was like a Keith Giffen scribble.
You know who looks like a Vic design? The guy who's just like a plastic bag.
A Bagman?
Yeah. That looks like something Vic would design.
I think Bagman's cool, but he's got to be like easy to stop, right? You just rip a bag.
Keeps your vegetables fresh.
Yeah. He's just really good at smothering babies. That's his only power.
More pictures. She's got so many pictures of Freak Force on the walls.
She's obsessed.
Tons of them.
Can you imagine? Listen, I mean, imagine you're the henchman.
Yep.
You fucking go into this bitch's house. She's got pictures of Freak Force in sepia tone hanging up everywhere. What are you thinking?
I mean, you're a henchman. You're on a henchman on speed dial. Your job is to go into these weirdos' houses and be their muscle. You don't ask many questions.
Like it's not even like a dartboard with their picture on it. It's nice pictures of them, and they're framed, so they got mats on them.
Right. That's
She had to have
expensive.
taken these to like Michaels or something to get them framed.
Can you imagine you're the Michaels employee? Hi, Miss Nirvana. Another picture of Freak Force, huh? Big fan.
Well, I'm the receptionist, so this is for the office. Okay, right?
Sure. Yeah. And then we get to see fucking Super Patriot using more eye powers, which again I totally appreciate. I think it's
That
awesome.
looks cool.
Yeah.
Do more of that.
Yeah.
Yep. He's done. He quits. He's out.
Yeah. When the going get tough, the tough get going.
So he's a realist. It is unfortunate. He does seem to kind of quit out of, I don't know, it just seems, I don't know, it seems in character, but at the same time it kind of makes you kind of think he's kind of a dope.
Dope. Dopiness is what this gave you?
Because, like, people are missing. Like, it's not like the team's, like, disbanded. It's like, I don't know. You'd think you'd be more curious about what's going on.
It's not heroic, and I think
Yeah.
it doesn't really match Johnny's character is all. I kind of feel like Super
Do
Patriot...
they know that Dart was taken, or do they just think she left?
Well, they think Dart just left because she left.
Okay.
She left, and then she was abducted. So they assume she just went back to Detroit.
That's right. That was right
I
after
think.
she quit.
And of course, Mighty Man's in a coma, so Anne's not around to worry about Phyllis being missing.
And they think that Barbaric just left to join the Freak Factor.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Ricochet's gone. I guess they just assume she went
With him.
Barbaric.
Yeah.
So they're not like actively looking for anyone.
Plus, they've been misled by Horridus. Because it says right there, Horridus told them that Barbaric joined Freak Factor.
Right.
So-
So as far as he's concerned, like everyone already quit. There's no team left. It's him and Rapture and a comatose Mighty Man.
Yeah.
That's a team, right? Like,
And
you just
Horridus
show
is
up...
dumbass.
You just show up to a bank robbery and you're pushing Mighty Man in his bed. Guys, this guy's still
Rapture with a broken leg.
right. This guy's still pretty invulnerable.
There's a lot I can suspend my disbelief about in comic books with the green guy with the fin and all that, but Freak Force disbanding is front page news. I don't know. That seems like a step too far.
I think.
Yeah, that does seem like too big of a story, or not big enough of a story for page one. Because nobody they even said that like Freak Factor would always like scoop up and get the jobs that they wanted and got all the press.
Right.
Yeah.
So Freak Force was a bunch of losers anyway. This photo was taken by Marv L. Comiskey.
So what is that? Like, is that a joke? I don't understand.
Well,
I'm assuming it's Marvel something. It's Comiskey. Is that just comics in like Russian or something?
Yeah, Marvel Comicsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel Comicsky? I'm telling you, some of this humor is whack as a motherfucker. Marvel Comicsky?
Also on the front page, under the main story here is Play Wingo.
Play it now.
See now, Play Wingo being advertised on their disbandment story, that I can believe. This will be buried on page 10 or some shit.
Right, nobody cares about them. But I will say, Dragon's Fin looking pretty on model.
It is.
Yes. Shockingly, right?
What about Rapture's sweat suit?
Mm-hmm. I think what happened, because this is around the time when they were starting to do the cartoon.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think Eric finally decided to nail down a consistent look for the fin to give like model sheets to the animators or whatever.
That makes sense. I never thought about
So
that.
I think that's when he finally decided what the fin would look like. Because it was pretty wonky before this, right? That you guys were just reading those issues.
Oh, yes, dude. It was off model a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what finally did it.
Yeah, that Jimbo issue in particular, which wasn't that long ago at this point. It's like different segments every other page.
Yeah. I think he just needed to decide they want a consistent look for the show. I may as well figure it out for the comic also.
I gotta say, I do love Chelsea's reaction to the team breaking up. So she's done all of this work to kill the team, only for the team to disband.
Right.
It's actually really funny to me.
Yeah, it is. This is actually fantastic. Like, this is excellent. Yeah, when I flipped this and she's like, no! I was like, oh, that's great. That's fucking fantastic. That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. She's so pissed.
That's it, right?
It's Freak 416. I mean, we got a little preview comic of Liberty and Justice Super Patriot, which we'll get to, which, as I recall, is really good. Another star ad. Nothing else in particular to talk about there, unless there was something in the letters I missed.
I don't think I looked at the letters in this one. Did you check them out at all, Raven?
No, there's nothing of a note. I mean, people are shocked and hurt that Freak Force is ending.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's it, basically. You just got a lot of people that are pissed. You don't have an Augie letter yet, so look forward to that. But Olov writes in, but that's it. Nothing too crazy.
So these two issues overall, what do we think?
Interesting
It definitely feels like they're wrapping it up.
Yeah. It's an end is nigh kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I think...
Well, I know how it ends, so I don't want to say too much.
I think... Here's what I'll say is, I think it's crazy to... You're towards the end of your arc. You know the end is coming. And rather than build to, like, one big giant, like, climax, you just kind of got this... The team's breaking apart, fake out. And even if you have them reunite real quick to take out Chelsea, who's clearly the book's big bad, it is kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, don't even fuck around with the, we're breaking apart, we're at an all-time low. It's like, nah, just, have them be in peril or something. You know what I mean? I guess a lot of them are in peril. Never mind. I don't know. Just, it's weird. It's weird vibes, right? Like, we don't really know that Barbaric's in any trouble at all. He got dragged into a building in a comedic fashion. It's you, yoink!
It literally says yank was the sound effect.
Right. So, yeah. I don't know. Just, for me, I'm still feeling it. I think Freak Force got better and better as time went by, but I still don't think that if it was back in the day, I don't think I would have been buying it at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me because I wasn't reading Dragon when this came out. Because I got it later. But even when I was starting to get real into Savage Dragon, I was like you, Raven, where I'm like, I'm just going to stick to the main book.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, there's a lot of stuff in here that I think would make more sense if I read Freak Force. So that's when I went back and picked them up. And there's some good stuff in here, but just I don't like looking at it.
Yeah, it's hard because, again, kind of like the stuff that happened, what is cool, Savage Dragon doesn't really have throwaway stuff. So I always thought Freak Force was throwaway, but, like, I mean, goddamn, dude, the Space Cops thing was important as hell to Savage World. Jerry the Inhabitor shows up in Australia. Like, Chelsea Nirvana shows up again at one point. It's just like, this shit mattered and was important. But, yeah, it's just super hard. There's a lot of jank that I'm not really super used to when I, like, associate with Savage Dragon. Like, I don't think of jank when I think of Savage Dragon. And Freak Force just has a lot of jank that's tough to... And it's not all Vic.
Like, what kind of jank do you mean?
Janky art we covered.
Okay.
So I'll step away from that. Right. But, like, some janky writing. Like, just some janky execution.
Marvel, the clones and...
Yeah, Marvel Kaminsky. Having Bludgeon basically be a second unbeatable guy just to have him be beaten by the first unbeatable guy is weird to me. There were just other weird things we talked about, and it's just weird choices. And the funny thing is that you've got two master comic storytellers. I mean, goddamn Giffen and Larson. I mean, these are not bad comic writers by any fucking stretch of the imagination. But just for me personally, it kind of has moments of brilliance, but is largely jank. And so it's weird. It's weird to me that here's this like team that is full of talent, but it's just it kind of didn't gel in a way that you would have hoped.
Right.
For me, anyway.
I feel roughly the same. I really wish I loved this book because there's 18 issues of it.
I am serious as a heart attack when I say if money was no object, I think there's good meat on these bones. I think there's like solid concepts. I feel like if it had a bit better execution.
Just tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, like video games have the concept of a remaster. And I get you, Jim, when you say, I'd rather just have new Freak Force. Yes, sure. But also, too, if we're dealing with, okay, but what do you do with this, like, fairly terrible first Freak Force? It's like, well, you know.
It's not terrible.
Not everybody thinks it's terrible.
Terrible is the wrong word.
Okay, why don't you guide me to the right word, thesaurus?
Because you haven't read Dart yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't.
Okay, yeah. So
it
gets worse.
Or Red Horizon.
Is Red Horizon bad too?
Or Savage Dragon versus Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Although the Image Mars Attacks.
Yeah. Image versus Mars Attacks is a different thing. Or Mars Attacks Image, rather.
Yeah. Savage Dragon one's not great. There's some stinkers out there, but Dart I think is definitely the lowest of the low. So compared to that, like Freak Force isn't bad. I mean, it lasted 18 issues.
Freak Force's problem is that it is kind of ordinary. It's a very ordinary superhero comic. It's got some violence and it's got some weirdness to it, but really, the like. Everyone compares the art to like John Burns, and it's got that kind of like typical superhero thing going on, which Savage Dragon shouldn't be.
There's no real hook to make it stand out.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh my God, that's it, dude. You fucking nailed it.
It's plain. Yeah.
The team never gels, and the team never finds a like enemy to overcome. It just feels like they bumble from one thing to the next. It's just it just lacks it lacks a through line. It lacks a last page script flip. It desperately needs.
You're right.
It needs that Omni-Man has been evil the whole time somewhere. I mean, I guess
they had that with Chelsea.
Chelsea is a little bit of that. I'll give it that. There's a little bit of that in Chelsea, but it's not enough. It's not strong enough. It does, or at least it doesn't. It slow burns too long when it should have been immediate.
Right.
Yeah. If I was to redo everything, that would be sort of a more instant hook. Like maybe
Chelsea should be the bad guy. She should be hired as a secretary like early on, which she was, revealed to be the bad guy mastermind behind like all these things that are happening. And like she should just be the villain. But she's barely done anything.
Yeah.
When did they reveal that she was, because I haven't read these in a while. I know you guys recently did. When did they reveal that she was like the bad guy? Was it early on?
It was pretty early on, and then she kills her father, which was pretty hardcore. But of course, then we did there was some storylines between that and here. That whole thing with the crossover with freaking Cyberforce. That was a big nothing burger.
Yeah, nothing happened. The weird ants. Remember the weird like space ants that came? And
that's the kind of stuff that killed this series' momentum.
Yeah. Space ants. Space ants had a 5-issue build and went nowhere.
And the villains that they had were uninteresting too. You had, what was it, Major Disaster. You had evil clones.
Mm-hmm.
You had
Absorbing
weird. What was it? The
Absorbing Junior.
Frightful Force.
Oh, the Frightful Force. Yeah. Basically, the Fantastic Four ripoffs.
Yeah.
Like the best bits of the series were like Rapture's origin and Mighty Man revealing their identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's origin stuff. It's backstory stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I really liked the opening of the Cosmic Cop stuff just because of how serious it all seemed. But then the ending just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, they just kind of take off. They're like, oh, shit.
We're out of here.
Yeah, oh, shit. Let's get out of here.
Shit sucks. Let's leave.
I mean, we still got 2 more issues to go through. And we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah, I think it's been a while, but I think it ended on a pretty good note. Especially artistically in the last issue. I don't know if you guys know anything about that.
Go ahead and tease us.
Well, I think there's a different inker
Ooh.
on the last issue.
Yeah, man. Jim, we can't swear this, but we are going to make an effort. We are going to try. We've been slow burning our own damn self to a special guest, a Freak Force fanatic, a legend.
Uh-oh.
We're going to have...
It's one person in the world who that could be.
Yeah. We're going to have Augie on, right?
That's the goal. That's the plan.
Have you guys reached out to him?
Yeah. We hope.
Well, we've made contact. We basically said we want him on the show. So
yeah,
and he's agreed that he'll come on.
And I would love to hear somebody. Here's the thing: is listen, I love to be wrong, and I love to like. Here's the thing: we were talking about Trancers, and Trancers is not amazing, but you can see the good in Trancers if you have the right person excited for it, right?
Right.
And the thing is I'd love to fucking just be wrong as fuck about this Freak Force, and I would love because, I don't want to hate this stuff. I want to fucking love it. And so I am super excited and interested to have Augie say what he's got to say on the show.
Tell you why it's good. Yeah.
Yes, dude. Fucking lay it out. Give me the passion.
Sell you on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because here's the funny thing is sometimes, you hit something out of time and it's impossible for you to know why it's a big deal. Like I mentioned video games briefly, but like as we record this, Resident Evil 4 just got remade. And the thing is the original Resident Evil 4, when it came out, was a groundbreaking title that changed the entire fucking world of video games. However, it's been like fucking 15 years. It needed refreshed. Because groundbreaking as it was at the time, modern people aren't going to think it's fucking incredible because everything's been inspired by it. It's kind of like how you can't go back and watch The Matrix and be I mean, new people can't watch The Matrix and be blown away because everything after The Matrix was inspired by The Matrix, right?
Right.
So I would love for Augie to be like, listen, you fucking uncultured swine, this is why this fucking kicks ass, is because in 1995, this shit had never happened. We never had a motherfucker get killed by his own clothes. Right? When Johnny Redbeard got killed by his own goddamn clothes, I shit myself. I'd be like, dude, you know what? I bet that was fucking mind-blowing at the time. Because that's a cool concept, right?
I guess.
So, no, I'm open to it. I'm excited. What do you say we end this meat and potatoes? Listen, special guest Mark Welser, thank you so much for joining us on this Savage FINcast Retro.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Thank you to my regular co-host and captain, Mr. James Purcell.
I have to be here.
And if you want to let us know your thoughts and whatever the fuck's in your head, if you want to tell us how you would kill someone with their clothes, write us savagefincast@gmail.com. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody.